Text is one of the core building blocks of the web, and in most websites, it makes up the majority of the page. With text usually occupying most of the real estate, the default font, which for me is Times New Roman, should be replaced for something substantially more appealing, which of course leads us to the subject of this lesson, adding new fonts to our page. By far the easiest, most convenient way for us to add a font is to import one from the web, and the most popular website to do so is fonts.google.com. This website was made by Google. It allows us to browse and select fonts that we like and import them completely for free. What you would normally do is browse the page until you found a font that you liked. However, I already know which font I want, so inside the search input, I'm going to search for a font called Inter, which by the way happens to be my favorite font. I'll click on it, and on this page, you can learn more about this font. For example, we see it's a sans serif font, and if I scroll down, we can see all of the different levels of boldness that it has. Now, assuming we're happy with this font, we need to click on this Get Font button, which when I do, we see it brings us to what is essentially a cart page. We have one font family selected, and what's implied by that is that we can, if we wanted, select and import multiple fonts all at once. But for this video, I want to import just the one. And to import it, we click on Get Embed Code, which brings us to this new page where it generated the code we need to copy to import our font. Now, making sure we're on this web panel since we're working with the web, we essentially have two different options for importing our font. Either we import our font in our HTML with link tags, or we import our font in CSS with the import at rule. Importing our fonts in our HTML with the link tag is slightly more performant and is generally recommended. So I'll just click on this copy code button, and then back in my index.html, anywhere inside the head element, I'll paste my code. When I save, we see nothing actually changed. This is because I need to head over to my CSS file, select the body element, give it the font family property, and for its value, I'll head back to the Google Fonts website. We see below here, we have this hypothetical rule set with a font family applied. I'll copy its value, and then back in my CSS, I'll paste it as the value for my font family property. Now when I save, we see our headings font family changed for the one we just imported. And by the way, the reason I'm defining our Inter font family on the body element is because the font family property is an inheritable property. Therefore, all elements inside our body element will inherit their font family from the nearest ancestor with a font family property defined, in this case the body element. This is like a reset. Since all content goes inside the body element, and the font family property is a inheritable property, we are essentially delegating this font family to all of the elements in our page.